Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for graduates of the Faculty of Asian and International Studies and the Faculty of Humanities. In a few minutes, the graduation ceremony will commence. The procession of staff will enter first. Please remain seated while this happens. After a brief pause, the university fanfares will announce the entrance of the dais party. I will signal to you by this action that you are to rise and remain standing until the dais party is seated. Please do not stand until I ask you to.
Vice-Chancellor, our special guests, Mr. Richard Austin and Mrs. Austin, our Founder-Chancellor, Sir Theodore Bray, the Honourable Justice Tony Fitzgerald and Mrs. Fitzgerald, the Honourable Peter Connolly, Sister Angela Mary Doyle, Professor Hugh Dunn and Mrs. Dunn, Queensland Art Gallery Director Mr. Douglas Hall, Mr. Raoul Mellish and Mrs. Mellish, members of the university community, and most particularly our graduates, their families and friends. It is customary for the university and its guests to gather as a body for the purpose of conferring academic awards on its graduates. And on behalf of the university, I welcome you all to this important occasion. One of the distinctive strengths of Griffith University has always been its interest in the contemporary world. In this afternoon's ceremony, we acknowledge the achievements of graduates from two different centres for learning within the university: the Faculty of Humanities and the School of Modern Asian Studies within the Faculty of Asian and International Studies. While having their own characteristic interests and emphases, these two faculties increasingly find their pursuit of excellence and relevance brings them closer together. This is a point to be noted in the wider debate over our nation's relationship to Europe and Asia. We do not face an either-or choice, but rather a both-and challenge. We must be truly Australian and international, informed by both European and Asian traditions, and authentically Australian. Recent developments, which cannot pass without some mention this afternoon, includes two new schools within the university: the School of Applied Ethics, which it was my pleasure to launch last year on behalf of the university, and the affiliate School of Theology. While both are hosted by the Faculty of Humanities, they have implications for and connections with the whole university and indeed the wider community. The Applied Ethics curriculum will equip students with analytical skills, with an understanding of current issues, and with an historical appreciation of ethics in human societies. It will also expose them to types of collaborative work that they are likely to encounter in their employment. I am pleased to say that even before the commencement of the 1993 academic year, 87 students have enrolled in the first course in our applied ethics area. The affiliate School of Theology, established in conjunction with the Brisbane College of Theology, provides an appropriate university environment and context in which to undertake postgraduate research degrees in theology. The school will foster scholarship at an advanced level in the fields of theology, spirituality, social justice, and related areas, and provide an identifiable focus and enhanced profile for academic activities in the areas of theology, ecumenism, spirituality, and social justice, and foster the development of programs which provide a response to the spiritual, social, and cultural needs of the community. As a graduate myself of the School of Modern Asian Studies, I watch with great interest developments in the study of modern Asia. I am delighted to learn, for example, that a new course in Chinese cinema has been developed. Chinese cinema is now established as a national cinema of great interest in literature on film theory, film analysis, and film history. Indeed, some China study commentators regard film as the most influential form of communication in the post-1949 period. I was also delighted to learn that Dr. Mary Farker and Professor David Ingram were recently awarded a $100,000 grant from the National Priority Reserve Fund for a project which will seek to raise student proficiency in Chinese language education at the university level. The particular context of this study will be the Chinese language teaching program at Griffith University as an exemplar of difficulties which may be encountered in the delivery of Asian language education. The project will seek to ensure that programs are relevant to the full range of vocational requirements. Looking across Griffith University as a whole, we see a remarkable picture as described by the Vice-Chancellor in the Griffith Gazette in February. He said in 1985, as a single campus university, we had approximately 4,000 students with only 6 major undergraduate programs. This year, the university welcomed 6,500 new students across its 6 campuses, producing a total enrollment of around 16,000 students in no less than 130 programs. The period prior to the recent federal election saw considerable debate on future trends in higher education. While the election has clarified some of the policy questions surrounding the future of the university, many challenges remain. The pressure for places placed on the whole tertiary education system poses its own problems for us. Another significant area concerns the articulation of university studies with other education sectors, where we shall see new patterns of participation in higher education emerging for many people. Through all such challenges, and there are many others which could be listed, Griffith University has a strong and enduring commitment to excellence. We are determined to see continuing improvement in the quality of our teaching, our research, and our service to the wider community. We have a sound base from which to move forward, a base comprised of graduates and staff such as those whose achievements we recognize this afternoon. The story has been good so far, but the future chapters which we shall write together look exciting as well. As we affirm the achievements of our new graduates today, we also have the opportunity to commit ourselves to the future together. I believe the future should be bright because I believe in the quality of our students. I believe in the quality of our teaching and in the quality of our academics. I believe in the quality of our programs, and above all, I believe in the quality of you, our graduates. I congratulate all of you who are today passing this milestone, and on behalf of the Council, I extend to you the warmest good wishes for your future careers. I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Asian and International Studies to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts. Hesra Ahmed. Elsa Rabina. Deborah Barrett. Linda Bennett. Craig Burgess. Farhan Christie. Carrie Chun. Ha Deep. Michael Doherty. Alana Emmerich. Fiona Emery. Michelle Faraway. Millicent Farrow. And Garside. Amanda Gothard. Tracy Green. Nicholas Gromick. Lyndon Hansen-Smith. Stephen Harrison. Ian Hay. Sandra Henderson. Janine Herbert. Angeline Ho. Vera Jensen. Louise Kane. Joanna Kennard. Tom Kenny. Rita Lamb. Fiona Lammy. William Marshall. Christopher Main. Robert Mallister. Ruth McGrath. Elaine Moe. Christine Mooney. Claire Newell. Rhonda Newell. Yen Ngo. Pam Nordberg. Damien O'Connor. Francis Partridge. Amanda Parker. Graham Pierce. Don Phillips. Karen, please. Shauna Proctor. Christoph Saros. Alison Raff. Scott Redden. Michael Riley. Monica Roberts. Andrew Robertson. Anne Robertson. Gregory Rutsey. Paul Sadler. Jennifer Shooks. Gordon Scott. Philip Small. Samantha Stanley. Joanne Statman. Fanny Turta. David Vickery. Tony White. Timothy Williamson. Klazina Sudima. Acting Deputy Chancellor, the Medal of Achievement in a bachelor's degree program may be awarded annually to the graduate with the highest academic achievement in a bachelor's degree program. The medal is not awarded if there is no candidate of sufficient merit. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I'm pleased to present to you the graduate who has been granted the 1992 Asian Studies Medal, Ian Edwin Hay. Acting Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs in the School of Modern Asian Studies in the Faculty of Asian and International Studies.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Australian and Comparative Studies. Jennifer Andrew. Helen Barchard. Caroline Brady. Barbara Bryan. Jennifer Boosie. Naomi Carter. Lisa Carley. Sonia Carmichael. Daphne Catchpole. Rosalind Clay. Mary Croft. Stephen Croft. Patricia Fallon. Margaret Fanning. Denise Finn. Beverly Freeman. Clive Gillam. Catherine Gordon. Barbara Holsgood. Deborah Jones. Cheryl Kerr. Rhonda Kingston. Suzanne Lewis. Sheila Marshall. Jennifer Martin. Robert McCall. Teresa McGee. Moira McGuinness. John Meehan. Beverly Nelson. Claire O'Brien. Jason Parr. Deirdre Rowe. Jean Short. Victoria Simpson. Sandra Smareglia. Nola Sprague. Beryl Toohey. Libby Townley. Stephen Wake. Jane Ware. Darryl Woodgate. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Humanities. Lucretia Ackfield. Michael Adams. Sewell Alkan. Catherine Anderson. Tracy Axelson. Vanessa Bell. Fiona Bishop. Elizabeth Bond. Daniel Bosch. Sally Boucher. Michael Bracken. Leanne Briner. Elisha Brown. Wilhelmine Brown. Lorena Browning. Carly Burke. Linda Carlill. Sandy Carroll. Wendy Chambers. Irene Chiobo. Rosemary Coleman. Melinda Connolly. Kylie Cooper. Jennifer Creer. Lisa Crump. Belinda Cully. Bronwyn Cunningham. Diana de Jager. Matthew Dean. Melissa Denaro. Laura Dennison. Melissa Dent. Melita Dickey. Adrienne Dragat. Cassandra Duffy. Tina Giretto. Robin Eddy. Liz Edwards. Catherine Edwards. Simone Elliott. Audrey Evans. Richard Fickery. Christine Ferguson. Adam Finster. Paul Fisher. Natasha Fraser. Nicole Freeman, Kim Gadd, Julie George, Gina Gensi, Amanda Gibson, Abigail Gilchrist, Katrina Hall, Rachel Hare, Katrina Harrison, Sean Herlihy, Sandra Hind, Elizabeth Houston, Narelle Howard, Rosalind Howie, Sally Hudson, Sonia Isaacs, Krista Jenkins, Michael Johnson, Kathleen Jones, Michelle Julius, Chantal Kabamba, Kiki Kadoglu, Anna Kusel, Katarina Kiel-Spartov, Kayleen Kelly, Danielle Kent, Rhonda Keys, Megan Kimber, Michael Kisane, Joanne Kleindienst, Mario Kyriakou, Cheryl Lynam, Catherine Loudon, Simon Lester, Gillian Levine, Niam Lines, Vincenzo Lopresti, Linda Locke, Justine Lumley, Cheryl Mackenzie. Peter Margaros. Melanie Mapp. Carrie-Anne McBride. Keiston Macaulay. Lisa McCall. Elizabeth McGregor. Sally McGregor. Rebecca McKinnon. Edmund McMahon. Carly McNamara. Robert McPherson. Douglas Mills. Russell Modlin. Robin Morris. Kylie Moss. Natalie Muldoon. Naomi Murta. Glenda Neal. Belinda Noakes. Althea O'Dea. Callista O'Donnell. Nicole O'Shea. Michael O'Sullivan. Stephen Parry. Mary Ellen Petherick Collins. Nikki Pickering. Susan Powell. Linus Parr. Joanne Price. Janine Prince. Mark Ragusa. Judith Randall. Derek Rainey. Melinda Rickman. Leah Rogers. Kylie Rumble. Sean Rushby. Shaylee Russell. Sally Ryman. Katie Sankey. Yvette Saunders. Ingrid Schmidl. Gina Serbo. Lyndall Sharp. David Smith. Julianne Smith. Wendy Smith. Diana Solano. Kylie Speed. Andrea Spencer. Adam Stannard. Andrew Statham. Abia Tarafdar. Natalie Thompson. Joanne Volz. Gillian Wean. Samantha Wild. Alison Williams. Kylie Wilson. Peter Wilson. David Wiltshire. Josephine Witham. Karen Woods. Trudy Warden. Robert Wotton. Julie Young. Acting Deputy Chancellor, the late Concetta Tarsitano began her studies in the Bachelor of Arts programme in the Faculty of Humanities in 1990. It was her aim to become a secondary school teacher. After completing the foundation programme with excellent results, Concetta selected comparative studies in history and literature and Italian studies as her major areas of academic interest. In undertaking these areas, Concetta chose to develop her understanding of her native Italian background. Concetta made many friends amongst the staff and students during her studies, and it would have meant a great deal to Concetta to have graduated with her peers at this ceremony. This testimonial recognizes her achievements as a scholar and as a member of the university community. In her memory, the staff and students of the Faculty of Humanities acknowledge her place with us today. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I ask that one of Concetta's friends and fellow students, Mario Kyriakou, be presented with this testimonial. Acting Deputy Chancellor, the Medal for Achievement in the Bachelor's Degree Programme may be awarded annually to the graduate with the highest academic achievement in a Bachelor's Degree Programme. The medal is not awarded if there is no candidate of sufficient merit. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I am pleased to present to you the graduate who has been granted the 1992 Humanities Medal, Diana Solano. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours. Anne Christie. June Cullen. Asa Masterman. Peter Thomas. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts with Second Class Honours, Division A. Julia Croft. Lynette Farquhar. Rebecca Hurst. Catherine Lamprecht. Sandra Malmsted. Charmaine McGibbon. David Mucha. Robert Stagg. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts with Second Class Honours, Division B. Kathy Courier. Narelle Robson-Petch. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Master of Arts in Australian Studies, taken in the Faculty of Humanities. Joan Hickey. Jill Martinek. Frederick Vitano. Acting Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programmes in the Faculty of Humanities.
I will now receive graduates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I call upon the Chairperson of the Academic Committee to present the graduates.
Madam Acting Deputy Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to a candidate who has successfully completed a prescribed program of study, principally of research. The thesis embodying the outcome of the research is the principal basis of examination. The degree is only awarded if the examiners are satisfied that the thesis makes a significant and original contribution to knowledge and understanding of the field of knowledge with which it is concerned. Today, the University is proud to honour its Doctor of Philosophy graduates who have satisfied these rigorous criteria for award of the degree. Acting Deputy Chancellor John Irving Fleming has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Humanities. By examining traditional natural law teachings and contemporary declarations of human rights, emanating especially from the United Nations, Dr. Fleming shows that there is an unexpected consensus about core human values that should be cherished and protected in law. He explores the use of this consensus for the clarification of contested questions in bioethics. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I ask that John Irving Fleming be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. And Acting Deputy Chancellor, Wendy Ann Selby has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Humanities. In 1922, the Labor government in Queensland legislated for free hospital maternity care and baby clinics around the state. Oral history of women's experiences of childbirth and child-rearing indicates, however, that the effect of these programs were not always beneficial to women or their children. In showing that women in Queensland increasingly had their babies in hospitals but made very selective use of other mothercraft services provided by the government, Dr. Selby's thesis makes a significant contribution to Queensland women's history. Acting Deputy Chancellor, I ask that Wendy Ann Selby be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. And Acting Deputy Chancellor, Basil John Shaw has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Humanities. The thesis, which is a study of traditional leadership in Papua New Guinean societies, provides the conceptual framework for Dr. Shaw's political biography of Michael Thomas Samari, the first Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. Leadership in Papua New Guinea during both pre-contact and colonial periods is analysed to produce a paradigm of leadership characteristics. The thesis then focuses on Mr. Samari's development to show how he acquired such characteristics, but attempts to adapt them to the purpose of modern politics. This contributes significantly to an understanding of the relationship between traditional and contemporary political leadership at a national level. Madam Acting Deputy Chancellor, I ask that Basil John Shaw be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Madam Acting Deputy Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Doctor of Philosophy graduates.
turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end will be. Oh, I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end is gonna be. I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end is gonna be. If you believe I'm being redeemed, to see what the end is gonna be. Just follow me down to Jordan stream, to see what the end is gonna be. I open my mouth to the Lord, and I won't turn back. I will go, I shall go, to see what the end is gonna be. Oh Lord, I won't turn back. Oh, I won't turn back. Oh Lord, I won't turn back, to see what the end is gonna be. My Lord, to see what the end is gonna be. Oh Lord, to see what the end is gonna be. Light your corner, in the corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for, believe me. I don't stay out late, I don't get it go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. And misbehaving, saving all my love for you, just you. And misbehaving, saving all my love for you, saving all my love for you. I'm saving all my love for you.
With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer the degree of Doctor of the University. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to make this presentation.
Acting Deputy Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award the degree of Doctor of the University to Mr. Richard Wigram Locke Austin. Richard Wigram Locke Austin was born in Sydney in 1919. He was educated at Cranbrook in Sydney and at Waitaki School in New Zealand, where he was dux. After winning a university scholarship in 1935, he attended the University of Sydney, graduating with Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Law degrees. As a young officer in the Australian Infantry Forces, Dick Austin was captured by the Japanese after the fall of Singapore in 1942 and spent more than 3 years in Changi Prison. As a prisoner of war, he acted as an interpreter on the Burma-Thailand Railway. From such unlikely beginnings, Dick Austin was to forge a long and fruitful association with Japan in his later life, firstly as a diplomat and then as a businessman and art collector. Dick Austin has turned his tremendous energy and vision to a wide range of occupations. He began his working life as an associate in the Supreme Court of New South Wales and in 1948 was called to the bar. During this time, he maintained a close link with the University of Sydney, where he was appointed a teaching fellow in their law school. In the 1950s, he embarked upon a distinguished career in the public service, commencing with the British Foreign Service. In 1955, he joined the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs, filling important diplomatic posts in Tokyo and Jakarta. From 1962 to 73, he worked for the Australian Department of Defence, culminating in his appointment as Deputy Director of the Australian Secret Intelligence Service. Moving to the private sector in 1973, Dick Austin became Executive Manager, Corporate Affairs with Conzinc Rio Tinto Australia Limited, a prestigious position which he held for 13 years. During much of the period from 1974 to 1983, he also served as President and Representative Director of Rio Tinto Zinc Japan Limited. Notwithstanding this official retirement, he continues to maintain involvement with private industry. Dick Austin is chairman of the Forrester Parker Group of companies, which is involved with building and development in Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. His involvement with the art world began in unusual circumstances when he returned to Australia after the war. Finding that his grandfather's house, Merrioola, in Sydney's Edgecliff, had become an artist's colony in his absence, he promptly moved in. Among the many artists who lived there were Donald Friend, Justin O'Brien, Cedric Flower, Michael Kmitt, Luden St Hill and Francis Limburner. This rich experience launched him into what he describes as the artistic orbit, a strong and irresistible force that never let him go. Since his Merriula days, Dick Austin has gained a wealth of experience in the art world. Through his dedicated and generous participation, he has made a significant and lasting contribution to the arts in Australia. His formal involvement in the arts spans almost 30 years. He has served as a counsellor of the Museum of Modern Art, Melbourne, a member of the Australia Council, trustee of the National Gallery of Victoria and deputy president, and honorary secretary and president of the Society of Collectors of Fine Arts. He has also chaired the Howard Michel Endowment Trust, Melbourne, which buys paintings by young and emerging artists for the National Gallery of Victoria. As advisor to CRA, he also assembled collections under the auspices of Sir Roderick Carnegie. Throughout much of his life, Dick Austin has been actively involved in an extensive range of organisations aimed at advancing cultural and trade relations between Australia and other nations. This diversity of interest is apparent from appointments as Chairman, Australia-British Trade Association, President, Australian-Philippines Business Cooperation Committee, as well as member of the executives of the Australia-Japan, Australia-Korea and Australia-Indonesia Business Cooperation Committees, ASEAN-Australian Business Council and the Pacific Basin Economic Council. His outstanding contributions in this area were recognised by the award of an Order of the British Empire in June 1982 for services to British commercial interests in Australia. Since moving to Queensland at the end of 1983, Dick Austin has brought his dedication, expertise and experience to the cultural and intellectual life of this state. He has been Queensland representative for Sotheby's Australia since 1985 and a member of the Queensland Cultural Centre Trust 1987 to 88, the Queensland China Council Cultural and Educational Exchange Advisory Committee and the Council of the Queensland Art Gallery Foundation 1987. Since June 1987, he has chaired the board of the trustees of the Queensland Art Gallery. Dick Austin's association with Griffith University began in 1984 when he accepted membership of the Council of the University. He served as a member of the University Works of Art Committee, subsequently renamed the Arts Committee, as chairman of the Nathan Housing Company, predecessor of the Office of Community Services, as managing agent of the university residences. He brought a wealth of judgment and knowledge to the committees and the board's deliberations. During this period, he also became involved with the former School of Modern Asian Studies, now the Faculty of Asian and International Studies. He generously served 2 terms on the Centre for the Study of Australia-Asia Relations Advisory Committee from 1985 to 1991. His experience, particularly in respect of his association with the Australia-Japan Foundation, China Council, Australia Council and the Department of Foreign Affairs, together with his business experience, has been invaluable to the university. It is particularly fitting that the Council of Griffith University should honour Dick Austin in recognition of his long and distinguished contribution to the arts in Queensland and Australia, and in recognition of his contribution to Griffith University. Acting Deputy Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Mr. Richard Wigram Locke Austin, OBE, for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University. I now call upon Mr. Richard Austin, Doctor of the University, to deliver the occasional address.
Acting Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I feel greatly honoured by the decision of the Council to bestow upon me the degree of Honorary Doctor of the University, and so permit me to join those distinguished Australians who have already been honoured in this way. It's an honour too, but also a pleasure, to have been invited to present the occasional address today to graduates of the Faculties of Humanities and Asian and International Studies, and I congratulate all those who have received their testaments this afternoon and who will now go out into the world with their achievements duly acknowledged. Last year, I was invited to speak to students of the Brisbane College of the Arts, who were then graduating for the first time under the auspices of this university. To that audience, I spoke, as you might expect, about the visual arts and their place in society. This afternoon, I shall speak of classical and Asian studies and their place in education. Not tertiary education in our universities, but secondary education in our schools, because that is what shapes the pool from which future undergraduates will be drawn. And I shall be suggesting that no matter how times change, the present is still in need of guidance from the past. A novel called The Go-Between, better known perhaps for the film which was made from it, begins with the words, "The past is another country. They do things differently there." That is not to say that they always do them better in an absolute sense, but they usually do them with greater style and elegance than we do in this final decade of the century of the common man. Or perhaps I should say, in deference to those who are intent upon emasculating the English language, the century of the persona vulgaris. For example, I would venture to state that sartorially, those of us who are here in historical disguise, I in the garb of a courtier to one of the Tudor kings, and the staff and students of the university in academic dress dating back to the 12th century, look considerably better today than we usually do in our nondescript modern clothing. When I was a schoolboy, rather more than half a century ago, it was generally accepted that those who wished to be regarded as properly educated should have at least a passing knowledge of the classics. Amongst the things expected of us was an ability to call up an appropriate quotation from one of the Greek or Latin authors to cover most occasions. No mention was made of the Chinese philosophers or the Japanese poets, and a boy who could quote from the Analects of Confucius or from the haiku of Basho would have been viewed with the utmost suspicion. To become a classicist was in the accepted order of things. To have sought to become an Orientalist would have been regarded as highly eccentric. Girls in that male-dominated era were for the most part excused from bearing the classical yoke on the basis of Marshall's epigram, which begins, "Sit non doctissima conjux, let my wife not be too learned," and continues with the logic, no doubt born of bitter experience, that I may have sleep by night and peace by day. Boys on what was then referred to as the science side were also excused, but it was clearly understood that these specialists would in due course come for policy guidance under the aegis of the generalists, who were, as Shakespeare puts it, the lords and owners of their faces, others but stewards of their excellence. Who better, it was thought, to guide the faltering footsteps of a genetic engineer than a man who already knew from Ovid that men could be turned into frogs, or from Homer into pigs, and by reversing the process, back once more into men. Who more suitable to control an aerospace company than a man who knew from Virgil that it was possible to fly quite close to the sun, provided, of course, that you did not, like Icarus, try to hold your wings together with wax. Today, all these wheels have turned full circle. Women are expected to be better educated than their husbands. Most scientists are now the lords and owners of their own faces, and there is a new slogan on the educational airwaves: every Australian child shall learn to speak an Asian language, with Japanese at the top of the ratings. The first two turns of the wheel were long overdue and should be welcomed wholeheartedly. Only an unrepentant reactionary would have it otherwise. The third, however, the Asian language catch cry, deserves, in my opinion, critical examination. In the first place, it had about as much chance of being achieved as that naive prediction made by a former Prime Minister in 1987 that by 1990 no Australian child would live in poverty. While I am a firm believer in Browning's exhortation that a man's reach should exceed his grasp, and that goes for a child's too, we should not ignore the cost of failure. Australians, at least the large proportion of the population that is of Anglo-Saxon and Celtic descent, are unfortunately notoriously poor linguists, partly because we live in a country with no frontiers, and partly because we have been taught to believe that if we talk English loud enough, foreigners will understand us. With the possible exception of Indonesian and Malay, Asian languages are hard languages, and as I know from my own experience, Japanese is especially hard, and only the few who are both dedicated and able will master them. Such people should, of course, be greatly encouraged, with the aim of producing a select core of really competent linguists and interpreters able to operate in a number of Asian countries. Those, however, who are unlikely to reach this standard would do better to concentrate less on language and more on culture. Understanding of Asian history and tolerance and sensitivity towards the varied and complex customs, traditions and behaviour patterns which make up Asian cultures will do far more for our relationship with Asians than an indifferent ability to speak their languages. My second concern about the push towards the learning of an Asian language is the secret protocol, which, I suspect, lies somewhere in the small print. Learn an Asian language and you need not bother about the classics. Already classical studies are being guided in the direction of the cemetery, and this could be a neat excuse for putting another nail in their coffin. If that happens, we shall be discarding the study not only of the language, but also of the civilization of the two countries from which we have derived a very high proportion of our own language and civilization. From Athens and Rome, we derive most of our literary forms, most of our practice and appreciation of architecture and sculpture, much of our philosophy, our medicine and our science, and not a little of our religion. We derive from them our ideas of law and order, of government, of citizenship, of freedom and of proportion. In the sphere of proper behaviour and deportment, both in private and in public life, the Greeks have given us the concept of the ideal man who is both beautiful and good, the kalos kagathos, and the Romans that of the man with gravitas, qualities all too rare today at all levels of society. The classics are not only the fountainhead of European culture, but they help to clarify for us many modern problems and answer many modern questions concerning the ordering of the lives of individuals and communities in our own country. We cut ourselves adrift at our peril from influences such as these. The Russian poet Pushkin is on record as saying, "How often do I tear my hair for not having had a classical education?" And coming closer to home, some wit once observed, "It is not absolutely necessary to know Greek or Latin to have a conversation with Gough Whitlam, but by God it helps." Pushkin and the unnamed wit are not alone. Only a few months ago, there was an interesting letter in the Courier Mail headed "Life with Latin" from Dr. Clement Semler, for many years Deputy Director of the Australian Broadcasting Commission in which he said, and I quote, "The decline of Latin teaching in our schools is one of the great tragedies of our modern education system. Its primacy as an art subject par excellence, parallel to the primacy of mathematics for science, rests on the fact that Latin was the common tongue of educated Europe for centuries. Without Latin, it is difficult for anyone to become a serious student of history or of literature. But its value lies not only in the doors it opens. No living language, far less Asian languages, can replace it as a tool for teaching the analysis of meanings and ideas in sentences, and no other language, living or dead, can replace it as a basis for acquiring other modern languages. Moreover, the decline of Latin is a major cause of the increasing illiteracy and verbosity so apparent in everyday writing and speaking, and especially of bad spelling. The detractors of a classical education claim its defect to be its seeming irrelevance to modern life. But this very irrelevance makes necessary the deliberate adjustment of pupils' minds to the language, ideas, and forms of two highly articulate, vanished civilizations which, unlike Asian, are the basis of our own culture and civilization. One thing at least is certain. The year of our Lord 1992 will be remembered, if for nothing else, as the year in which the whole of the English-speaking world was made aware of two Latin words, annus horribilis, the phrase used by Her Majesty the Queen to describe the year then drawing to a close. It might well have been otherwise, if only the more junior members of the royal family had recalled a few lines of poetical Latin, and the royal servitors at Windsor Castle had known a few words of practical Japanese. The year might have been remembered not as an annus horribilis, but as another annus mirabilis. If only more weight had been given to Catullus's words, sed mulia cupido quod dicit amanti, invento et rapida scribere apportet aqua, but what a woman says to her lusting lover had best be written on the wind and in swift running water, a caution which applies equally to a man. I suggest the modern translation would be, use a scrambler telephone. If only in a different context, Catullus had been ignored. Difficile est lungam subito deponere amorium. It is difficult suddenly to cast aside an old love. And instead Horace had been remembered. And here I will spare you the Latin and give you instead James Mitchell's elegant and evocative translation. Underneath the freezing skies, contentedly the hunter lies, oblivious of his sweet young bride. If only those in charge of security at Windsor Castle had known the cry heard in every village in Japan when the wind begins to rise, Hi no yojin, Hi no yojin, watch your fires, watch your fires. And any journalist who knew the story of Actaeon and his terrible punishment might well have hesitated before photographing a more modern Diana while bathing. But we are here venturing into the country of what might have been, and just as in the country of the past, they do things differently there. And in any event, we should now be thinking about the country of what might be. And so it is time for me to sum up. Australia is clearly no longer a part of Europe, but Europe is where our cultural and traditional past still lies. Nor is Australia a part of Asia, but Asia is where our economic future is to be found. Australia is a unique country in that it can provide, as no other country can, a real bridge between West and East. We must ensure not only that this bridge is built, but that it is also kept in constant repair. Our secondary school curriculum must take these things into account and provide a judicious blend of classicism, and Orientalism, of culture and pragmatism. If it does not, it may well produce, and the universities will have no choice but to accept, future generations of young Australians whose knowledge of an Asian language will barely be enough to get them to and from the airport, who will find difficulty in writing a paragraph of clear, concise, correctly spelled and grammatical English, and who will think of Jupiter only as a casino, Poseidon only as a mining company, and Horace only as Rumpold's Christian name. If that happens, we shall, in the manner of Esau, have sold our birthright for a mess of sushi.
Madam Deputy Chancellor, Acting Deputy Chancellor, the address we've heard is, as expected, entertaining, challenging and, of course, at times provocative. Such was the way with our Speaker when he addressed us last year, and we have been delighted to once again hear such an address. Of course, there are many concepts and ideas there which no doubt members of the Griffith community would like to discuss and debate at some length. Having been the university which uniquely in Australia has emphasised Asian languages and studies in our curriculum, it's been useful to hear a message which might be said to have a different slant. But may I say, Dr. Austin, we got there first, in the sense that gathered here today are representatives of two faculties which embody those two great traditions you've mentioned. And of course we have begun at Griffith this year, for the first year, a new program called Contemporary European Studies, aimed to remind not only our university but our community that in terms of our place in the firmament, we are, as you've described it, no longer quite part of Europe, not yet part of Asia, but of course crucially a bridge between these two great traditions and cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a most stimulating and challenging address. May we join together again in congratulating our Speaker on his degree and on his address. Thank you very much. It remains for me to take this opportunity to congratulate all our graduates on their success, to wish them every further success in their careers, and to ask them particularly to pay attention to joining the Griffith University Alumni Association and maintaining their contact with us throughout their lives. Thank you.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, would you all now please rise and join the Brisbane Collegiate Singers in singing the traditional student song, Gadiama Sigator. The words for this song can be found on page 19 of your program. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is now concluded. When the fanfares begin, the Dais Party and the staff procession will retire. Thank you very much.